As artists, we tend to have a few inner dilemmas that can impede our mindset, growth, and creativity. This video, we're tackling a topic that'll probably hit home for many of you. It certainly did for me when I started my animation career, and I still find myself battling it here and there. The struggles of an artist and how we often overthink when creating our art. These two elf characters in this video are just references I found on Pinterest and decided to stylize them and toss elf ears on. The main purpose of this drawing was to practice my painting skills and try to break the face into planes that have solid divisions from shadow to highlights through different shades of color. I see this done often and I wanted to give it a try myself. This drawing in itself blends perfectly into the topic, not overthinking it and just painting on one layer and interpreting the reference regardless of making mistakes. I generally don't do intros introducing myself, but I'm KJ. I've worked in the animation industry for 8 years, and today we're going to be talking about something that every artist faces at some point: the struggle of overthinking. Whether you're a painter, sculptor, a digital artist, an animator, or any other type of creator, overthinking can be a real shitty hurdle. So let's get into why we overthink, how it affects our art, and most importantly, how we might be able to overcome it. Overthinking is a common issue for artists because we're consistently striving for perfection. Perfectionism in the field of art is crippling. We want our work to be the best it can be, and sometimes that desire for perfection can paralyze us. We worry about every little detail. Is the line perfect? Does the color look right? Will people like this? And it stops us from actually creating. I remember early in my career, I spent days on a single section of a shot because I was obsessed with getting every detail perfect. It wasn't until I let go and focused on the bigger overall picture that my work truly improved and I was able to create more cohesive shots. Even artists like Van Gogh and Dali face self-doubt and overthinking. Van Gogh, for instance, often felt insecure about his work, but he continued to create prolifically. His ability to push through self-doubt resulted in some of the most influential art in history. Psychologists suggest that overthinking stems from a fear of failure and a desire for control. Studies have shown that creative flow is best achieved when we allow ourselves to make mistakes and explore without constraints. Like, how often have you started a project never to finish it? I have so many work in progress concepts and drawings that'll never get finished. You might find yourself collecting folders full of references before you begin to draw and then stop because of the sheer amount of weight you've just now put on yourself to create. Or a big one for me was wanting to perfect my technical skills first and then draw something beautiful and amazing once I've learned everything there is to draw. Which you could never do because learning and developing your technical skills never stops. So it just stunted my growth. I was better off just learning on the job. Even the greatest artists face their own doubts and struggles. It's important to remember that overthinking is a part of the creative process, but it doesn't have to control it. So how do we overcome overthinking? Here are some tips that help me and could help you too. Set time limits. Give yourself a set amount of time to work on a piece. This can help you focus on creating rather than perfecting every little detail. This was a major thing for me. Animation is a deadline-based career. We're always fighting against the clock. It's draining. You can easily lose yourself to overthinking and then find yourself not having enough time to complete your work. But what this time limit does is makes you focus on what is truly important. You're not noodling away at the small things that people will never notice. You're creating the bigger picture and finishing with something to show for. The more you can finish and create mileage, the better your workflow will become and you'll be able to easily express yourself without overthinking. This can be achieved when you work inside of a box and set a time limit. Be one with your mistakes. Remember that making mistakes is a part of the learning process. Sometimes the best ideas come from those happy accidents, as Bob the Man Ross always says.
And just beat the devil out of him.
Practice to allow yourself to make mistakes and explore rather than consistently thinking about the outcome. It's hard, but very much necessary to stop overthinking in the moments when you make a mistake. Y'all know the saying, trust the process? That's essentially what we're trying to do with this one. Let the mistakes guide you. Don't allow yourself to start thinking, why did I do this? It looks so bad now, and then get trapped in that negative loop. Switch up your mentality. Try leaning into your mistakes and see where they take you. There's so many times where I've animated and taken it the wrong direction. Initially, I thought I'd ruined the entire piece of animation, but I ended up discovering better in-betweens or poses, even timing that might work better for the next version. Limit distractions. Create a space where you can focus solely on your art. Turn off notifications, clear your workspace, and let yourself get lost in the sauce. For me, this is turning off my music and really focusing in. For you, it might be putting on some music and getting dialed in. Find what makes you hit that flow state where nothing in the world matters but the art. This last one might just be a cardinal sin, but honestly, I think this one saved me so much from overthinking and losing so much time when I draw or animate, and it's sticking to your first idea. Crazy, I know. In most cases, you've probably been told never to go with your first idea. I'm sure I've said it in videos as well. But when you're trying to combat overthinking, stick to that first thing you wanted to do and execute that to the best of your abilities. It's limiting the pool of ideas so you don't get distracted or overwhelmed. Take it as far as you can, because at least you've completed something at the end of it. After that, you can decide if you want to experiment and try something else. This way you've narrowed down your choices and you know exactly what you're going for, rather than overthinking, wondering if this one would have been better than that one. You know, remember, art is about expression and creativity, not just perfection. By letting go of that need to make everything flawless, you open yourself up to new ideas and opportunities. Overthinking is natural, but it doesn't have to hold you back. Embrace the journey, enjoy the process, and most importantly, keep creating. I'd love to hear your experiences, how you handle overthinking in your creative process. Share your stories and tips in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and grow together. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video about overthinking, you already know what to do. That's enough of me yapping. See you in the next one.